Welcome back to the This Day podcast, where we connect real life, real people, and real stories. Tune in to a brand new episode happening right now. Make sure you click the links in our descriptions to find out more about our sponsors and resources where you can dive in deeper to your faith journey. And now, dive in to today's episode. Friends, a quick word from our sponsor before we jump into the episode today. You can check out all of our ministry books and resources available on Amazon, so go check those out. Now, let's hit the episode. Bunny, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you on, and I'm so excited to talk a little more about everything that you are doing. This is a big year for you. So let's not wait a minute longer. Let's dive right in, and for people that may be a new friend of yours, share a little bit about who you are and what you're passionate about.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on, Megan, and so appreciate your ministry and what God's called you to do. I spent years in business with my husband, ran house churches with my husband for years. I was a homeschooling mom when I caught the political bug back in 2004. Started volunteering for campaigns and getting working in the pro-life movement, and that led to me going back to college as a 28-year-old mom with two little boys. Finished my political science degree 3 years later and landed a job with a U.S. congressman that led, after 10 years, to a full political consulting firm where I had 32 clients and 9 people in my office. I was one of the largest firms in Texas. And then blew up my life in 2018 running for Congress. Ran for my boss's seat. And it was an amazing journey, changed my life as a leader. Got into a $1 million runoff in 2018 and lost that by a couple thousand votes, unfortunately. Very, very small margin. But after all of that, I felt like the Lord was calling me to shift gears and to get into ministry and to start a new Christian ministry nonprofit that is about raising up leaders and helping Christians steward their commitment to pray, vote, and engage for our country. So we started Christians Engaged December 2019, and we're now over 1 million Christians that we're helping to pray, vote, engage on a regular basis as we remind them about elections, remind them to pray, teach them about civics and biblical worldview. And it's just been an honor of my life to run this ministry.
That's incredible. So, why do you believe this has just become your passion? What kind of connected you all to this? When did you first feel the call?
To this work specifically, I think it was when I was a teenager. I was
Mm.
at a Christian music festival, and I saw you know anti-abortion ministry that was showing videos of babies and what that looked like, and it just kind of I remember just standing there just crying
Mm.
and just felt a calling to that. But I really thought I was going to be a missionary to Latin America before my husband proposed 30 years ago. He was my best friend. I was heading out with Youth with a Mission. And I, kind of then, married my best friend, was running a pest control company, and in a little ways felt stuck in America. And I really kept praying, God, can you show me how to be a missionary to this country?
Mm.
Obviously, I'm called here because I married my husband and I'm running a pest control company, but can you show me how to be a missionary to this country? And so, government and politics for me has been a mission field. I've been so honored to walk beside so many members of Congress, even people that are in the administration now. Sean Duffy and Lee Zeldin were both clients of mine, and I've got to speak into their life. And I wrote a book about my journey called Jesus in Politics: One Woman's Walk with God in a Mudslinging Profession. And it's my heart has just been to disciple one person at a time in our country, no matter where I find them.
Absolutely. That's incredible attitude to have. Now, you have a new story coming out. You talked about your first book briefly there, but your book, Stepping Up to Lead. Share a little bit about that, what you're excited for people to read in that story, and just what they can expect.
Yeah, well, this book has been in the works for over 15 years. I started teaching Bible studies to congressional staffers and state representative and state senate staffers here in Dallas, Fort Worth, in Texas, where I'm from.
Hmm.
And it was all about the book of Nehemiah and Nehemiah's leadership and his characteristics that caused him to be able to mobilize and galvanize people to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem in only 52 days against all hostile forces and enemies, telling the Israelites to stop working and to get off
Yeah.
mission. And so this book is a chronological study of the book of Nehemiah, over 17 chapters, but it also goes through 16 characteristics of Nehemiah and how we can implement those into our own life. It has full discussion questions. I even bring in a story of a modern American at the end of each chapter that is, showing that
Yeah.
characteristic to the world, like Kelly Shackelford, that leads First Liberty Institute, or HUD Secretary Scott Turner, who's been a dear friend, or Patricia Heaton, or Leland, or all these different people that have been in my life, or some that have gone on to with the Lord, like David Wilkerson or Dr. James Dobson and Beverly LaHaye. People that have exemplified these characteristics and really showed people how to rebuild the walls of a country. So I'm very thrilled that Candace Cameron Bure is doing the foreword to this book. She has a real passion to raise up leaders for the next generation of our country, and I'm very honored. And it comes out May 19th, so people can pre-order it now.
That's exciting, and I'm excited for what people are going to glean from this book and what how you're going to educate the next generation um, as they truly do step in to what God's calling them to. And what do you hope? Why do you think that's so important, especially in this time that we're living in, for people to step up in what God's calling them to
Yeah,
do?
Megan, we're really in a leadership crisis. I mean, we
Yeah.
see it in every space, whether it's ministry leaders falling, narcissistic leaders, business leaders, media leaders. I mean, it's all over the place in every sphere of influence, government leaders. So we have to really cry out to the Lord and go, what kind of leaders do we need? And can we say yes to that calling? I believe every believer that calls on the name of the Lord, Megan, is called to be a disciple maker.
Mhm.
Jesus said in Matthew 28, all authority and power has been given to me in heaven and earth. Go you therefore and make disciples of all the nations, right? That's a command for all of us. We think sometimes that's just relegated to pastors and missionaries, but it's really all of us. And that's what I've tried to live out in my life. But we need all of us to step up to be leaders in whatever space. That could be a mom just with kids, right? That could be a business person. That could be somebody that's an actor, actress. We all have a responsibility to be solid leaders. And I really pray that the next generation will rise to that challenge. And I pray that my generation will be the spiritual mothers and fathers that we're called to be to raise up the next generation. And I see a lot of hope with Gen Z, Megan. It's exciting to see their passion for mission, their passion for relationships. Even I saw a report last week that they're more amped to turn off their phones and have like times of, silence and try to have real relationships with people. That is a great trend, and a lot better than Gen X and millennials. So it's exciting to see what God's doing. And I think we're going to see a passion in the new generation to want to be great leaders.
Absolutely. And speaking about great leadership, you have something very exciting happening literally this month. So let's talk about America Reads the Bible happening in DC.
America Reads the Bible, Megan. It is going to be epic.
Yes.
April 18 through 25, just coming up soon. We are going to see, I believe, 500 of our national leaders read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from our nation's capital, from the Museum of the Bible. April 18, and what an honor to shepherd this and to lead this initiative. It's taken 14 months of my life, but April 18 will be our opening celebration. It's a 90-minute show that will be live streamed on Great American PureFlix in front of their paywall for everybody to see, free to the public. Candace Cameron Bure is our national spokesperson with Cameron and BJ Arnett from the Forge movie. Also, Patricia Heaton from Everybody Loves Raymond will be speaking, a cabinet secretary, members of Congress, David Barton, Tony Perkins, Pastor Alan Jackson, so many more will be there telling their testimonies of the power of the Bible in their life as leaders, high producing leaders, and then calling the American people back to daily Bible reading and
Mm.
discipleship for the next generation. And then 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for 7 full days after that, Megan. We
Wow.
are going to read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation with 16 worship leaders that are filling in gaps of prayer and worship each hour at the end of each hour. It's going to be epic. I think we've got 6 cabinet members, 6 governors, 20 members of Congress, Hollywood people, farmers, nurses, hospice chaplains, police officers, Native Americans, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, everybody in one thing, 122 ministries. What an honor to have been able to get all these ministries onboarded to see this happen for the American people.
That's incredible, Bunny. That is so incredible. I'm so excited to see what God does in this month here in Washington. I think you're going to see an incredible move of God, just from steps of faithfulness you have taken, to put this together. So, how can people connect with you? How can people stay involved in your ministry?
Yeah, well, for America Reads the Bible, guys, get on a plane and come to DC. Enjoy a 3 hour or more. I mean, you can get tickets for every day if you want. Come to our private art gallery, come to the Dead Sea Scrolls. I mean, the Museum of the Bible itself is such an amazing, amazing place. And it's the 250th birthday of the country. So you can experience DC for a couple days, bring your kids and grandkids, or plan the live stream in your church, in your community,
Mhm.
in your family room, in your business. Use this national moment to share the gospel and the word of God in your community. So AmericaReadsTheBible.com is where you get all that information, get the schedule, get the readers, all of it's up on the website now. And then ChristiansEngaged.org. You can take the pledge to pray, vote, and engage and get in our system and see all of our amazing stuff that we do on the Christians Engaged side.
How fun. Now, one last question before we let you go. The podcast is called This Day, and we always talk about, how we can stay present in this current day. So, Bunny, how do you do that?
Um, I pray every conversation I have, Megan, whether it's with a ministry partner or donor, with a volunteer, with somebody I'm recruiting for America Reads the Bible, to you, I pray that I'm present. I pray that I'm fully there. I pray that I'm hearing from the Lord about that person and how I can share with them that will make a difference in their life. And I think it's just being aware that God wants to speak to us every moment and he wants to speak to us about the persons in front of us and that the person in front of us is an absolute treasure of the Lord and that
Mm.
our calling is to try to pull out that treasure chest from them of all the things that God has put in their life that he wants to accomplish. So that's where I kind of focus my thoughts throughout the day. And for me, it's back-to-back meetings all the time, but that helps me stay focused and realize I'm talking to real people and not just trying to take something off a to-do list, right?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us for a few minutes today. I'm so excited to see what God has in store for you for the rest of this year. I think it's going to be so powerful and exciting.
Well, thank you, Megan. I so, so appreciate you.